Oh, that's right. He was still relatively young because he said when his dad died, he was so young, in fact, that he kind of really wasn't able to process it. He's just like,
Right.
he's like, so Dad's not coming back, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, yeah, this happened. He's like, that doesn't make sense to me, but like, let's keep rolling, I guess. And every time he's brought it up, he's always come out as very mature about everything.
I wonder if it's easier to get over a parent's death if you're really young and you just don't really know any better. My buddy Worm, we talked about my buddy Worms that passed away back in February, right? So he has a 5 or 6 year old son, and I remember like at the visitation and the funeral, he he's 5. He just kind of was like standing there, didn't really know what was going on, wasn't terribly upset, you know. I mean, and then at the funeral, like during like the service, you know, before we buried Jeff, he was like somebody like they were trying to kind of like keep it lighthearted for him and like telling stories about Jeff and you know how much they like to go to baseball games and whatever together and the kid didn't shed a tear once and I was like it dawned on me sometime during the funeral that he doesn't really understand what's going on. Like he doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah,
you know,
it hasn't
he doesn't
settled
realize
in yet.
that his dad he's never going to see him again. You know,
and
so yeah,
I don't know. Being 31 years old, I don't know how I'm going to react when that happens to, well, really anybody in my family. You know what I mean? Until it actually happens. Yeah. My grandfather passed away some time ago now, and like when it happened, like it was always kind of there. Like the idea that okay, his health's fading. You know, it's going to come at some time, but just when it did, I guess. I was actually the best man at my buddy's wedding, and we were putting on his bachelor party that day, and I got a call while we're at the bachelor party that my grandfather had just passed. And it was from my mom, and she's like, you don't have to, like...
How old were you?
Oh, I want to say...
It was like, what, 2007?
I want to say it was
2007 because that's when they got married. 2007.
Okay, yeah. So I was right about 21.
Right.
When he went, and with that, my mom was like, "You don't make any decisions now. You don't have to race here because you know he's gone. So there's no need to get here quick to say anything. Like he's gone. So don't race anywhere. It's like I'll be right there." And I told my buddy, it's like I've got to go real quick. I'll be back. And I went and drove to the hospital and kind of said my piece and said my goodbyes, that kind of thing, and drove back out to the bachelor party. And I told everybody, it's like, no, I've got to be with you guys because I can't sit at the house and have my head clouded with this stuff. I should be here with you guys, kind of watching over everybody and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But even then, like I said, seeing it kind of on the horizon and knowing it was going to come sometime, you're never ready for when it actually does happen.
Yeah.
And so being younger and that happening, I couldn't even fathom. Like,
I mean, it's got to be hard in different ways, right? Like, once you become older, you start to realize, like, Dad never taught me how to...
The finality of it.
Well, that comes to mind, of course. You know, you start to realize that he's never going to be back. But then, certain things will happen, and you'll realize, Dad never taught me how to change my tires on my car, or Dad never taught me how to, whatever it is. But you start realizing, Dad's not going to be at my wedding. Dad's not going to meet his grandkids. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but, like, I guess, the way I felt when I lost my mom is different from the way he felt when he lost his dad, probably, because, well, you don't understand death at 6 years old.
Right. And how old again were you when your mom passed?
My mom passed away 7 years ago, so 27.
So at 27, you've already got a pretty good chunk of time invested with your mom, and
Right.
you have a history together. Whereas somebody that's only really if they're 6 or 7, they've only really got a couple years of memories that they can really draw from or
Right.
remember for the most part. Because let's face it, like 2 or 3, I don't really remember too much from those years.
No, you
So
don't.
you only got a couple years to draw from. So I can imagine it's like subconsciously anyway. It's like, all right, really don't have too much time invested here. Whereas at 27, it's like that's a lifetime,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
for in some
Yeah.
cases.
Well, no, it really is my entire life.
Yeah, up to yeah. So I don't know, but anytime he's ever talked about his father, he's always come off as like almost like he's made peace with it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to what all this has to do with Ariana Grande.
I was just thinking. I was like, we've fucking
went down-
swayed.
We went down a rabbit
the
hole.
Fuck out there.
We went down a rabbit hole of me describing the guy that's engaged to Ariana Grande. So let me back roll.
I don't think you can back down off of 3 funerals worth of a conversation.
Oh, we can make it work. So anyway, this guy Pete Davidson is engaged to Ariana Grande now, and he went on to the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and they did a little sit down interview, and Jimmy Fallon opened the interview with basically like, you didn't have to get engaged to Ariana Grande to come on the show, man. Like I would have invited you.
Yeah, because
otherwise.
they do. Like, she's on there a lot.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon's a big fan of hers, and
Did not know that.
whenever she's on the show, she plays along really well with the
It-
games that
it's-
he plays. So
It's weird. She's. I think she's talented, but I always assumed that it was a lot of post production work.
Yeah.
But she's really good. I mean, she's
Yeah,
a great
she-
singer.
she,
Whether maybe you like her type of music, is
Yeah.
whatever. But
I'm not really
the
a fan
fact that
of
she
the-
can sing is
Yeah.
unquestionable.
not really a fan of the type of music she puts out.
Sure.
But at the same time, when she does the shows like Jimmy Fallon and that kind of thing, when it comes to the interview and her style of or brand of humor in the interview she puts on with whoever's hosting, it's like, okay, I can at least listen to you have a conversation with somebody and not be like, oh my god, somebody get this Barbie out of here.
You're
Well,
right.
she was on Nickelodeon. It's got all your favorite shows.
Get out of here. She's teasing me now.
Yeah. You wanted her to be on this.
Fucked up
God,
there, buddy.
Pass the buck.
That's what you get for bringing out Ariana Grande into the conversation.
Right. My favorite.
Let's go back to hump pillows.
Get out of here.
Hell yeah.
My favorite joke that I heard when she was first coming on the scene was, so he said, Ariana Grande, that sounds delicious. Like it sounds like a Taco Bell menu item, you know. But anyway, back to
That or
the
Starbucks.
right. Can I get a low fat Ariana Grande? So
You want that or whole or skim milk? Have you seen that bitch? That's some skim milk if ever there was some.
but Pete Davidson's time on the show, like he wasn't like trying to censor himself, or he cussed quite a few. Like he'd say throw a fucking in there or a shit, and Jimmy's like, have you ever been on TV before? You know you can't like talk like this, and you know how to operate on TV, right? And Pete's like, no, I don't. And he's like, or Jimmy said, like, you don't talk this way on Saturday Night Live, and Pete Davidson's like, because I'll get fired from Saturday Night Live. I can't get fired from your show. And he was there to promote a new movie that he's in on Netflix. I believe it's called Set It Up. But he's in that movie for about 10 seconds. And then further down on the couch, he's sitting next to Rob Pattinson, who's there to promote another movie of
Is he
his.
the vampire dude?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So he's sitting next to him, and that part of the interview where Pete's supposed to throw to like a clip of his movie that he's in, he instead throws to a clip of Robert Pattinson's movie from last year that he was a big fan of. He's like, I like his work, man. I think he's one of the finest actors of our generation. And instead of throwing to a clip of his movie that he's been paid to come and advertise and talk about, he's like, all right, this scene from the movie, Robert Pattinson and his brother, played by this guy, have just robbed a bank, and Jimmy Fallon's like, oh, all right, let's throw to this, I guess. And they show a clip. They showed, I believe they showed a clip from Robert Pattinson's movie that he was there to promote, and then showed a clip from his movie from last year that Pete Davidson was there to promote. And it was just the title of the article I saw attached to the clip was Pete Davidson's first (parenthesis) and last time on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. I thought it was kind of refreshing that he wasn't like there to kiss ass or brown nose. He's just like, I'm here, man. He even said the movie I'm here to promote, like, I'm only in it for 10 seconds. Like, go see it for the other people, but don't go to see it for me. Like, I'm in there for a blip.
I don't like what's that guy gonna do? He's gonna be like, we're not gonna put you in any more 10-second spots in our movies anymore, dude.
Right.
You didn't even promote the movie. Like,
we're cutting your time in half.
All right.
I don't know that you can even say you're in a movie if you're only there 10 seconds.
Dude,
I don't even know that counts as a cameo.
Listen, if I was in a movie for 10 seconds, you better believe I'm telling everybody.
Right.
Like, yeah, I was in Thor.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't see me, but I was in it. For
Yeah.
sure.
You remember the big, the wide shots of the crowd? 46 throw up,
Right,
7B. Yeah.
Yep.
You can see my hair. I was, that's me.
I'm the only dude
Yeah,
wearing
dude,
a Hello Kitty shirt.
I'm gonna put that on my resume.
Right.
I'm like, if I meet a girl at a bar, I'm gonna tell her that I was in the movie. Like, you better believe. If it was for like 3 seconds, like, yeah, it's just a pan over of a crowd. Pause it.
Yeah. If you
41
pause,
minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah.
You can see my
Dude,
face.
fuck that. I'm so petty. I tell people when I've shook hands with somebody that's been on screen before. It's
Tommy Lee?
I met that guy at a gas station.
I met Tommy Lee in Norway. Dude, I love telling that story. Like,
Yeah.
I used to start out like, I shook the hand of like the biggest dick I've ever seen.
Big old salami Tommy.
Well then, I don't
Wait,
think I've
Trish.
ever met anybody.
You shook hands
famous?
with the dick? Or the
No, I
owner
shook
of
his
the
dick. No. He put out his hand and I just grabbed his penis and shook it.
You're like, nice to meet you, and the dick goes, charmed.
I was confused as to which one was your arm.
right. This thing's got an elbow, holy shit.
I don't think
He winked at me.
Oh, Jesus Lord. I don't think I've ever met anybody famous, but I've come to realize that I wouldn't know if I would.
You wouldn't know if you met someone famous?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. No. The more that time has gone by, like, in the last...
Do you have, like problems with facial recognition?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, that's where I was exactly heading with it.
Okay.
I would say in the last 6 months, like, I've finally come to terms with the fact that I'm face blind. Like...
I couldn't think of the word. Facebook.
Yeah, and at first I was like, well, I'm just really bad with faces, and then I truly realized that I am completely face blind.
That's why you called me Brian all this time.
No, it's so bad that our next door neighbor, who I have spoken with on multiple occasions,
Face to face.
like
shared
4
words.
feet away, 4 feet away, also works at the same place I work, and came into my office, and I had no idea who she was. Like, it took her going, hey, I know you, and I'm like, I have no idea who you are, and she's like, I live next door to you, we have talked. So it finally occurred to me that, like, if I see somebody, like, many, many, many times, I will finally learn to recognize that person.
Yeah.
But there comes the true test, is if I see them out of context.
Okay.
Like, if I were to see somebody 10 times at the office, and I finally learned to make a facial recognition, but what happens if I see them at Walmart? They're no longer in context, so then
I don't know if that's
no
a
longer
facial
make the
blindness
recognition.
thing, though.
I don't know if it's necessarily, like, fully blind, but it's definitely, like, a severe problem.
That
If
makes
she
sense
wakes
to me,
up-
though,
if
because
she wakes up in bed in the middle of the night, she'll look at me and go, who are you? And I've got to, like, reacclimate.
you got to start, like, spitting off facts, like...
Right?
Yeah.
Right. We've had sex before. She's like, that doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
No,
Solid joke.
You're just getting me back for loving Ariana Grande.
You goddamn right.